This is the NFL Weekend Review Show on the Flex Network.
Going up, coming down, does he come down with it? Does Golden State have it? He's in the end zone, he has!
This is the Flex Network.
Unbelievable!
This is the
Romo
Flex
can't get the
Network.
squad down!
Flex on them.
Run Zeke. Up the middle, he's gone! Zeke's gone! Goodbye, Zeke! Touchdown! Short yardage, pinched in. The dogs got out.
Flex on G.
Branding in the gun, third and 8. Crowd making noise. Manning 5 steps. Here comes the run. Taco's got it. That's an Eli Taco. Low snap. He picks it up. He looks. He stands. He rushes. Oh, he's up the middle. He's running up the middle. And boom!
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flex Network is here on this post-election day broadcast. We are here still with no president, unfortunately, but we are here. My man, the SnowMan is right here. He's got the shades on. Looks like, oh, he's in Miami. I see over there in Hard Rock. What's up, SnowMan?
Oh, it is great down here in sunny Miami. I mean, the sun is shining, the heat is on, and the Dolphins, man. I mean, the Dolphins pulling up the upset for at least in our picks this week, and they just proved to them, those Los Angeles Rams, and to you guys that your picks last week were in essence a lehu there.
That is 100% correct. The Dolphins managed the Dolphins so far this season have managed to beat every NFC West team outside of the Arizona Cardinals and the Seahawks. Seahawks beat them earlier in the year, and this Sunday actually. Arizona and Miami are going toe-to-toe, so we'll see if Arizona can figure out what's going on. But, Miami, they absolutely embarrassed San Francisco earlier in the season. They were actually beating up on the Rams pretty good, even more than what the scoreboard says in that game. And so it was very, very interesting. But who's our winner this week in the Pick'em, Snow? The one and only right here, or what?
I wonder who? Oh, that's who? Me. Coming in strong this week. I didn't need the Monday night pick again. I didn't need Monday night like the last 2 weeks. Or, actually the last 3 weeks ago. For weeks 3, 4, and 5. I didn't need Monday night to save my bacon because I had Miami. I had, granted, I lost the Baltimore pick, but still, I mean, heck, even New Orleans, came to play against Chicago, but I feel like it was more Miami today, for this. So yeah, it was a good week, but I think I'm starting to get a little burnt down here. I mean, yeah. I'm getting a little burned down here. I need to come back up to wash.
Yeah, you're from the Pacific Northwest,
or at least
you're a
get
little
back
bit
in the
pale
studio.
in the skin, right?
I'm not pale. I just need to get back in the studio. Hold on.
Well, I just mean like people in the Northwest in general are kind of pale. But here's the thing. I went 8-6. Cowboy Cam went 8-6, and you went 9-5. I'm still waiting for one of us one of these weeks to really blow the other two out of the water and hit that, like, I don't know, maybe like a 12-win mark in 1 week or something.
No one has hit a double-digit win. Actually, Cam is the last person to hit a double-digit win, and that was in week 7. But for 3 weeks, the first 3 weeks of the season, we were all in double digits. 13-3 for me week 1, 10-6, 11-5 week 2, a 12-4, 14-2. So yeah, it's been a while. We've been hitting that that Dallas Cowboy NFC East level of records. 8-8
Funk.
or 8 and
Yeah.
8-6, 7-7, 9-5.
Well,
It's a close. It's always been close the last as we get deeper into the season.
so Cam is starting to it seems as though he's starting to pull away a little bit
Oh, he's
for the
only up a game.
season standings. He's up 6 games. I'm the closest. Well, you're right behind me. I think we're about a game apart.
No, I'm ahead of you. I'm ahead of you
How
by
are you?
1 game.
7147. Oh, 72. Yeah, so you're up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, so
I'm in second.
last year was crazy.
Mhm.
Because Cam and I both had multiple weeks where we were 10 wins, 11 wins, 12 wins, whatever it is, but this year I'm just for whatever reason am not as good at picking it, but that's fine. Let's talk about a couple of things that have happened that are going down. And the number one thing that I'm most excited to see this week is that Sunday night football matchup with the Buccaneers and the Saints. And Antonio Brown will be on the field, and
Yes.
we will see. I picked him up in a couple of fantasy leagues. I was able to get him, and I feel like everyone was snatching him up off the waiver wire once he actually signed with the Bucs. But we'll see what happens, man. It should be super interesting. So that's what I'm looking forward to. As far as NFL free agent or not free agency, but the NFL trade deadline went down, and it was fairly uneventful. There were some teams that called the Cowboys for Aldon Smith. Cowboys didn't want to part ways with Aldon Smith because he's basically the only one that's doing anything over there anyway. We talked last week. The Seahawks were able to execute a trade to get Carlos Dunlap, sending BJ Finney, a backup center who we signed in free agency and really weren't even happy with. And I believe we sent a 7th round pick with that as well. So we got some cap space freed up, and then sent a 7th round pick. Then today, reading that Carlos Dunlap completely restructured his deal, and so we'll see how all that goes. Gives Seattle a little more freedom with the cap. Desmond King gets traded from the Chargers to the Titans. The Titans desperately needed that. Maybe they'll be a little bit better defensively. What other trades am I missing out there, Snow? I know I'm probably missing a couple.
Yeah. Again, like you said, the trades this year was not real eventful. Again, there were some winners, there were some losers, but and like you said, like you were talking about earlier with, this week, how we're looking forward to Sunday night with, Antonio Brown's coming out this week, shelling out down here at Tampa. And a lot of people are, obviously picking him up more than likely on fantasy leagues. And of course, we're going to have a battle of the top 2 leading touchdown throwers right now in the NFL, with Brady and Breeze going back and forth this Sunday night.
You mean not in a single season, but in career-wise for overall. Yes, for overall.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the man has finally came out of his cave that has been surrounded by dumpster fires galore.
The great one is here.
Yes. Cowboy Cam is in the building.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you guys for tuning into the show. What y'all talking about? What's up? What's going on? What we talking about?
We're going through a couple of trades. We talked about Desmond King going to the Titans. Well, the big news that broke, I guess, a couple of hours ago was the news. Well, I guess the news that broke earlier today was that the 49ers. Well, I guess there's been 49ers news breaking over the last couple of days. Ever since that just smackdown that we gave them on Sunday. Russell doing his thing, 4 touchdown passes, taking care of business. the defense actually showing up for a change. And I was so impressed. They held the 49ers to 112 yards and 7 points for 3 quarters. Really pretty close to 3.5 quarters. They just were locking them down completely. Jimmy G gets pulled out, hurt his ankle. George Kittle comes out of the game late. We find out that he fractured his foot, so he's out. Nick Mullins has entered. We learned that the 49ers have placed about 4 guys on their COVID list. And then with all the 49ers are so hurt already, and then you add all this stuff to it. We might have seen the last snap that Jimmy Garoppolo ever takes as a 49er, because word on the street is his cap hit for next season is somewhere around $25-26 million. Chris Buckner, we appreciate you tuning in, catching the show. But we have, there's a lot of things going on. The breaking news today was that Matt Stafford is being put on the COVID-19 list as well. So he'll be out this Sunday. There's things going down, man. And so you got to make sure you take your test, stay away from people that don't live in your house and that you don't work with and all of that good stuff. Yeah. But here on the Flex Network, we're in 3 different cities, baby. So it doesn't matter. We can keep rolling. Our screens show that we're only about an inch apart from each other, but Cam and I are a little bit closer than the SnowMan. Before you got on, Cam, the SnowMan was in Miami, and he took one of those Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson jets and just flew across country just in no time. Look, he's back in Miami already. He's just celebrating.
I'm
Miami putting it on. Yeah, Miami put it on the Rams this weekend. So let's go ahead and do this before we get out of control here. Let's roll. Let's go ahead and roll into the games from last week. I'll do a quick recap and we'll stop on a couple of games here. Let's start with the Falcons beat the Panthers 25-17. I was really hoping the Panthers were going to pull it off. I like Teddy Bridgewater, their receiving core and all that. Seahawks beat the 49ers 37-27. Do we want to stop there for a second and chat about that game?
Yeah, I think we could stop here for a little bit. First,
I don't really have much to say besides Russell Wilson was in his bag. That's basically all I got.
Yes, sir. That is correct. Snow, go ahead. I know you got a few thoughts there.
Yeah, I got a few thoughts. Yes, and I'm pretty sure everyone out there with Seahawks is, fretting a little bit because we let the Niners slowly crawl back in the fourth quarter. But here's the thing, guys, just relax. Yes, we were dominating on both sides of the ball. We allowed the Niners to crawl back in after, around the time Jimmy G got injured and he's done for, essentially almost for the season. Maybe he'll come back for a couple games, but the smart thing would probably just to seat him and see how far this backup quarterback can lead him. And who is the backup quarterback again?
Nick Mullins, baby.
Nick Mullins. Okay. So Nick Mullins comes in and he starts to get things rolling with the Niners. And you know what? I'm sitting watching this game like, you know what? Okay, he's doing good. And of course, the defense, again, with that bend but don't break mentality that they have, they kept the throttle on, and they allowed some things to happen, but it wasn't a complete, oh my God, we're collapsing. It was a normal thing for Seahawks. And of course, Russell Wilson, Chef Russell, MVP Russell, just cooking up stuff down here in Seattle. And I felt good about this game entirely. Should the defense, held a little bit stronger? Yes. But of course, the Niners are essentially just going downhill now because their quarterback's done. essentially, except for maybe a couple games, depending on how well his recovery is. George Kittle's done almost at the exact same time, maybe an extra week. Maybe he's done for the season and just sit him and see how he feels. But the Niners, they're done. There's no way they're gonna make this a comeback, a season to try to come back from. So it's going to be a very, very interesting second half for the season for the Seahawks as we head into week 9.
Yeah, so some takeaways that I had for the game. Number one, obviously, was to me there were two players that really shined in this game. I mean, Russell Wilson was a constant, but he gets enough love for just playing the quarterback position in general. The quarterbacks generally get a lot of love. But I'm going to give one player on offense, one player on defense. The player on offense, ladies and gentlemen, Megatron 2.0 has arrived. DK Metcalf from the get-go was a man. He runs what Snow, you wouldn't know this because you don't ask Cam. Cam's my quarterback. When you run complex and routes as a gentleman like myself does, I can tell you that DK Metcalf ran in that game what certain coaches call a box route, or they call it a crosser, or they call it a dig or a drag. But basically, you run in about 10 to 12 yards, and you come straight down the line from the left side across the field so you can cross the quarterback's face. Russell Wilson throws the ball a little ahead of him so he can run with it, catches it, gets around the DB, and just turns that corner, and that was all she wrote. He went about 40-something yards to the house, touchdown. DK Metcalf later caught a deep ball. Then he ran a post from like the 3-yard line into the end zone with a DB on his back, caught it, another touchdown. Ended the day with I think about 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. Your top receiver from the week in fantasy football, if you're counting, that's about a 40-point game, and that's twice as much that you need from a receiver. But you know what? I'll take all the points I can get, so I'm not complaining. But he was a man amongst boys. There was no DB out there that was really on his level. He could have done more, but there really wasn't a need. He was killing it. So he's my offensive player that game. And my defensive player that game was reliable right there in the middle. He's like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of people talking about Fred Warner, who really has outplayed Bobby Wagner all season because he's not playing on the world's worst defense or one of the 3 worst defenses in football. And Bobby Wagner has been. The Seahawks defense has been historically bad this season. And so Bobby Wagner shows up. He says, how about 11 tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 murder on Jimmy Garoppolo? And so he destroyed Jimmy Garoppolo on 1 run. And so, you know, it's just one of those things, man. And they have been they looked real good. Great bounce back game. And it was a good week to win because you're talking about a Miami Dolphins team that took care of the Rams for you. And then you beat the 49ers. That's a division win. And then you win on top of it. And then the only thing that could have been better is if Arizona was playing and found a way to lose, but they were on a bye. So that was not a possibility. And so I was impressed, man. Yeah, I was impressed with the win. I thought in the first couple of drives that the offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer for the Seahawks, I thought that he was kind of being weird and calling crazy plays and all of that stuff. And then there was one point when I thought he was calling bad plays, and then you look to the other side where you see Kyle Shanahan running there. The 49ers are in a 3rd and 14, and Kyle Shanahan comes out and runs a wildcat play. I'm like, that's got to be the worst play call of the season. because a wildcat play is not going to get you 14 yards unless you've completely tricked them somehow.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, that wildcat play might get you a couple yards, but teams they know how to recognize wildcat now. This isn't the old days when the Miami Dolphins came out with the wildcat and no one knew how to stop it.
Good time.
They figured. Oh, did that just give you all the feels right there?
Yeah,
It's like, man,
good time.
that was sweet. I remember that. But yeah, it's just it was just impressive, man. I thoroughly enjoyed the win. A little bit more probably because it was a 49ers, a divisional opponent, but I just thought they looked really complete on Sunday, and I was happy to see it. What about you, Cam? What do you think?
I didn't take too much from the game because going in, I knew the Seahawks were the better team. The 49ers are who we thought they were when we seen how the injury report. When we seen the injury. Yeah, man, like they're beat up to a pulp. They have no receivers. Now they're not gonna have Trent Williams this coming up week, and I didn't think too much of the game. I was just like, the Seahawks are the better team, hands down. But I gotta say, this was Flex Mike. You said it perfectly. This was the most complete game that I've seen the Seahawks play all season. And so, can they build on that going towards the playoffs?
I think
right, and I think they can. Yeah, they definitely can. You're talking about a team defensively next week that Carlos Dunlap's gonna be on the field for us wearing number 43. You got guys like Rasheem Green who are coming off of IR, who was consistently in the backfield before he got hurt. You got Jamal Adams finally making his return 100% healthy. Should have made his return last week, but there's ESPN 710 in Seattle. They do a Monday mornings after the games. They do an interview with Pete Carroll, and they kind of just go over everything. I think they have him for about 30 minutes on Monday mornings. But he was saying that the groin is healthy for Jamal. The thing that kept him out last week is he was sick. He had some type of like crazy sinus thing. He's just struggled to get on the field last week, and so. That was really what kept him out of the game. But let's keep it rolling. We got the Bills beat the Patriots 24-21. Titans lose to the Bengals 31-20. You can keep that paper bag to the side. We don't need it.
We all chose the Titans, so just remember that we all chose the Titans.
I had an argument on why I should choose the Bengals. That's all I want to say.
You did.
True.
And
I'll give you that.
Despite the negativity that Mama Snow was just tossing in our direction,
the Raiders won.
And because we all went with the Raiders, right? The Las Vegas Raiders. And they took care of the Browns 16-6. Baker Mayfield's not good at football.
It's trash.
I'm here to say it.
But I think we could all agree. The Raiders versus Cleveland Browns. It's the Browns. We're all going to pick the Raiders. Come on.
Well, in theory, it's just like every now and then the Browns show up and drop 40 points, and you're like, where'd that come from?
Well, I think we can all officially decree that the old Brown is back. The paper bag wearing, sad, dog, tear-eyed is all back, and it's all good in Raider Nation, everybody. And
I don't want to write the Browns off.
Time out.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the thumbs up.
We got the approval.
But yeah, I mean, the old Brown's back, baby. That's all I gotta say.
So one of the things that's interesting about this game is the Browns defense is obviously doing their thing. It's the offense that's lacking, because if you tell me that you slow the Raiders down enough to only allow them 16 points, if you only score 16 points in today's NFL against teams like Seattle, or like even with Dak, right? When Dak was healthy, you will lose that game. You have to score more than 16 against these prolific offenses. And so I'm even talking just a top 10 offense. The Browns defense did enough to get a win, but the Browns offense obviously was not there, and so
No,
yeah,
they
we'll keep
in
it moving
trouble.
from there. Yeah. Colts take care of the Lions 41-21. I was dead wrong on that one, right? Did I take the Lions? I'm sure I did.
Yes,
What an
you
idiot.
did. Me and Cam were the ones that took the Colts.
Hey,
Because
well,
Yeah, that would've-
you were saying
were
you were basically thinking that they were going to be rolling over Phillip. Well,
I mean,
Well, I
the Lions
played
came
the
off
song.
an impressive win.
or no, sorry,
You played
I
the
forgot. No,
song,
I
but-
forgot. Phillip's not with. Indy was. Yeah, he's with Indy now. But yeah,
Yeah.
you were thinking
Yeah.
that was going to be a rollover Rivers kind of day. But come on, it's. I mean, Detroit had an
played the
opportunity.
song, but yeah, you played that song, but I didn't think that it was going to be like a blowout. I thought that it was going to be a lot closer. And so yeah, they take care of them.
It doesn't have to be a blowout. If you're sacking
Well, when you
Rivers
say-
and just rolling him
when you-
over, then
Well, when you say
Beating them.
rolling, normally they say, "Oh, that team rolled," like kind of what Alabama did to Mississippi State this last Saturday. They rolled them out the building.
Roll
They-
Tide,
So-
roll.
they pitched a shutout.
Yeah. Okay. Vikings beat the Packers 28-22. The Vikings defense of 3 years ago somehow showed up against the Packers, and I know a lot of Seattle fans are rejoicing because that's the main team in the NFC that's in contention for like the number 1 seed with us right now.
They're terrible. They're soft.
Yeah, but one of my best friends is a Packers fan, and so like I sympathize with him. And you know what I told him? I'm like, dude, when you play a divisional opponent, no team knows you better than your own division. And so it's just so hard. I literally texted him and I said, I think it was in the middle of the fourth quarter, and I said the Packers are playing the exact game that the Seahawks played last week when we played Arizona and lost to Arizona. It's just they give you these headaches, man. And it's just something about it that's like your division just knows you better than anybody else. And so obviously that's to a Packers fan, you're like, that's annoying because they're supposed to be one of the better teams.
Yeah, here's the thing. We came on the show and we were all thinking the same thing. The Vikings are not looking good this year. Green Bay is literally on fire. But again, I mean, and it's one like I've said with the Dolphins. They somehow find they'll be a thorn in someone's side, but it's those teams at the bottom that in your own division that will try. Obviously, they will try to find some way to be a thorn in your side. I mean, heck, out of all the games last week, all three of us together, we missed on the Thursday night game, the Carolina game. We all got that one wrong. We got the Charger game wrong, and we got the Green Bay game wrong. So
I got something to say about those Chargers.
We got
get around to that.
Yeah, I mean, but 3 games we all got picked them wrong. So, yeah. And the Green Bay one, that one to me was the shocking one, that Green Bay rolling so far this year, and they just let the Vikings come in and just shock them. Wow. I would have put my money. I would put $500 on that to say that Green Bay was going to beat the Vikings.
Here's the thing.
I wouldn't have. Oh, go ahead, Fox.
Yeah. One of the things that's most crazy about that Vikings win is those teams are so mismatched that the Vikings had no business being in that game. But the fact of the matter is Green Bay could not stop Dalvin Cook because there wasn't a receiver from Minnesota that was really doing any damage. Dalvin Cook had 4 touchdowns. By the way, 4 touchdowns, when you add the extra point to the end of those 4 touchdowns, equals 28 points, which is the amount of points that Minnesota scored in that game. So, Justin Jefferson, the young kid out of LSU, who's having a pretty good season as a rookie, was non-existent. Adam Thielen, non-existent. Any of those tight ends, non-existent. It was really just Dalvin Cook, and they just couldn't stop him. But here's the thing that's crazy.
And
here's the thing about it is when you when they eventually play Minnesota again and we do our picks, I'm going to pick Green Bay again because Green Bay could roll out there and beat them by 40. That's just how they are. It could happen. What were you going to say, Snow, about Minnesota and Green Bay?
I mean, literally, Green Bay right now, they're going to be fighting up an uphill battle right now in the run game. Defenses right now are going to be more focused on the pass game right now. Stopping that passing attack that Aaron Rodgers has, because if I remember correctly, I saw that Green Bay's running back situation is down to their 4th and 5th options because their top
COVID.
3 are COVID and injury. So that they're not going to be running the ball as much. So defenses now are going to be scouting and keeping an eye, just thinking we're going to play the pass, defense. We don't have to worry as much as the run game defense, and we can blitz and not have to worry about, they're going to have some severe threat in the run game now.
Right. Cam, give me your 2 cents on this game. What'd you think?
Basically, the Packers' run defense is really soft. I think they're really good. They're really good once they get a lead because you can unleash Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith. You can just unleash them. You're going to be pass rushing the whole time. But when a team is able to just run the ball, control the clock, the Packers are at a disadvantage. They're at a disadvantage, and even though we all know the Vikings are tanking, this kind of goes to show that Zimmerman and his core of guys, they know what they're doing, but I think they're going to do a brief rebuild for the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to get rid of, a lot of their star players, but they just go to show that we can handle the Packers whenever we want to.
Right.
Before you get into it, I want to ask Cam, what are they tanking for? I mean, the Vikings are not even.
What they're tanking for.
But here's the thing: they're not going to be able to catch up to the Giants, to the Jets. They're not going to be able to catch up to them.
Oh no,
in that 0-8.
not that guy. Oh, that's not who they're taking for.
Well, I mean, literally looking at the league-wide standings, Jets, Giants, Texans, Jags, Falcons, the boys, Pats, Chargers, and then the Vikings. So that would, if the season ended right now,
yep,
that would be your draft order right now. Because they don't do like that whole, we'll pick.
I believe only three of those teams are taking quarterbacks.
Yeah, because NFL does, the order of the, how everyone finished, and then they go on to, Super Bowl, the conference, playoffs, wild card conference, and then how everyone finished with the Super Bowl. So they would not realistically be at the bottom and get that first overall pick unless they trade for it. So, yeah. So what? 2, 4, 6, 8. They're sitting at 9.
Okay, Trevor Lawrence is not who the Vikings want. That's not who they want.
They don't want Justin Fields. I mean,
they would not even be back.
I'm going to tell you who they're going to take.
Trey Lance is going to fall right in their lap.
100%. So Trey Lance, Snow, in case you don't know about him, North Dakota State University. Do you know how close North Dakota is to Minnesota?
Right there.
Dangerously close.
Perfect.
I could throw a rock. If I'm at the Mall of America in the parking lot outside in Minneapolis, Minnesota, let me get a good let me say quarter-size rock. I could throw that bad boy to North Dakota State. Okay.
Okay. Hold on. Let me throw how far that. Let me throw how far that that is.
But no, Trey Lance is definitely going to fall right in their lap. I think that's who they have their eyes on. They'll be able to run the same offense that they're running now, but I think that they'll give more responsibility to Trey Lance that they don't give Kirk Cousins, because everybody knows when you ask Kirk Cousins to throw the ball a lot, you're not going to get a victory. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
All right.
So Snow, check this out. Okay, so they could get that guy. Everyone knows that the only thing that they could decide that they wanted to do, Minnesota, is if for some crazy reason they decide, oh, we believe in Kirk Cousins, which is not likely. I think that they're probably going to go Trey Lance. But for the off chance that they don't, they could decide to, because you have to keep this in mind, right? If they're going to keep rolling with Mike Zimmer, then Mike Zimmer is a defensive coach. He coached in Cincinnati for years, and that's the reason they went to the playoffs all those years in a row, is because of Mike Zimmer coaching that defense. And they were a very good team defensively. They were hard to beat. But anyway, the real thing here is you could see them maybe go early in the first round or something like that and get a defensive end, maybe get a linebacker or something like that. But that would just all depend on kind of what's going on with the players that are entering the draft and stuff. And so, who knows? I personally,
at least for quarterback wise, it's going to come down to, is this the quarterback that they're going to put their chips behind and is going to give the keys to the kingdom to? And is this a quarterback that the players are circling around and saying that's a quarterback? So, I mean, we know what's going on in Dallas. We know that that's who that team is built around, and that's who they're going to roll with. So, yeah, they're going to wait on him. Minnesota, it's
a little different.
It's a lot different. Is it 100%, this is our guy, this is, we're building towards around, we're going to get wide receivers, we're going to get an offensive line with him, running backs, we're going to build around this guy and make him our franchise quarterback? Or is this just someone until, savior, that mentality of that's who we're going to go get in the draft or in a trade, to say like, oh, we like that backup quarterback down there at Green Bay, or we like that backup quarterback going on in New England, just as a, throw out there. I'm just naming teams for that part.
Check this out. I got both of you a piece of beef jerky. I want you to chew on this for a second, okay? Chew on this. Okay. So, Minnesota drafts Trey Lance out of North Dakota State, right? You move on from Kirk Cousins. You put Trey Lance in the quarterback room, but obviously you're probably saying, well, he's not going to start day one, so let's bring a veteran in free agency. A good veteran for them to bring in free agency would be a guy like Jameis Winston.
I like the
because
beef
you
jerky.
have receiver.
I like the beef jerky. I like it. I like your beef jerky.
So you bring Jameis Winston in, and here's the thing with Jameis Winston's Snow is you bring in Jameis Winston, and it's a win-win situation. You're not going to have to pay him a ton of money.
Yep.
And then you have Trey Lance over here on the other side, and if Trey Lance proves that he's at least Jameis Winston caliber, you roll with Trey Lance, and you start him over Jameis Winston. But if Trey Lance isn't, he can learn a lot from, because Jameis Winston can teach you a lot from a quarterback standpoint. You just don't trust his decision making. Listen to your quarterback coach when it comes to decision.
He was blind. He was blind.
That's what they say. That is what they say.
How long is he signed for down in the Bayou?
1 year. 1 year.
I think it's on 1 year. Yeah.
Yep.
So he could easily come to Minnesota. They could pick him up on another 1 year deal, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And so, they could easily do that.
Yep, 1 year. He's signed for 1 year, 1.1 mil with a base salary of $99.52.
Right. Okay. So let's keep it. Let's keep it rolling on these recaps. Okay, Chiefs take care of the Jets like we expected, 35-9. Dolphins beat the Rams 28-17. Appreciate that. Steelers take care of the Ravens 28-24. And my, have the Steelers snuck out the last 2 weeks. That's Cam's AFC team in honor of his pops. So, let's go. That's cool. And then here's my dude. Listen, I got a bone to pick with this dang team. The Denver Broncos beat
now
the
we're
Los
getting
Angeles Chargers 31-30. Everyone wants to talk about how the Atlanta Falcons are these choke artists, 28-3 in the Super Bowl, and then they lost to Dallas this year, and they've blown leads since that game, and all that stuff is like, oh, Atlanta's the choke artist, all that stuff. But dude, go and look at the stat book for the Los Angeles Chargers for the 2020 season. How many leads have they blown? Dude, they lost 31-30 to a team that has multiple players on IR on the offense. The Chargers are supposed to have this great defense. The Chargers are sitting at 2-5 now, and they should easily be sitting at 5-2. That's how crazy it is. And so that game's annoying just from the standpoint of them losing that game. They blew that game. The Broncos did not win that game. Yeah.
Drew Lock
you
is
call
that guy. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that
I do.
game was just
I like
crazy.
Drew Lock.
I'm liking Drew Lock. I'm liking it. Hey, is it time to start questioning Anthony Lynn, the head
Not
coach
yet.
for the Chargers? Is it time to question him?
No.
Not yet.
I give him
Not yet.
one more year and I'll question.
Because man, he's blowing a lot of leads, dude.
I agree.
No.
Okay. Then we roll to. Do you have something to say before I keep going?
Oh no, I think I know where you're coming up to next, and I want to nominate this as our laugh out moment of the week. If you're going to the windy city of Chicago and the Bears,
that is where I'm going.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So Saints take care of the Bears 26-23, final in overtime. Give the people the synopsis now. Give us the synopsis there. What went down in that game?
Okay, so apparently during some random play, two men decide, we're going to get at it, pull off, the mouth guard on one, and he tosses it after a little chirping, just tosses it. A little bit later in the game, we get this, not even paying attention, cameras on this, and all of a sudden we see this fight break out between two men, and the replay, at least, and all heck breaks loose with that. The replay shows after the play's done, home dude just comes walking him to, the Saints player is not even paying attention, and shoved in the face, it looked like it was a shove to the face, like, what the heck are you doing? And then a punch. And we got to fight. It's like, what the heck are you doing? Are you kidding me? Since when did, I understand Chicago's, have a lot of fights, a lot of scraps there, but that was just too crazy. And literally, what the just so crazy, to say the least. We had a fight night
I loved it.
What, Soldier Field? They're still playing that?
Field, yeah.
We had fight night at Soldier Field over a mouth guard that started this whole thing. So that is my literally moment of the week.
I gotta say the DB that got hit, I think it's Chauncey Gardner Johnson or something like that. He's been a pest to a lot of receivers, and basically he ran into the one receiver that was like, "Nah, dog, I ain't gonna let you slide." And I gotta say, it was the highlight of the night. Watching that fight, it was definitely the highlight.
Yeah, that reminded me so much of just like Cam, because you've circled the wagon like I have, dude. Is this semi-pro culture that exists in America is like that reminded me of a semi-pro football player thinking he's so good, and then he gets mad because some dude beat him at something, and he decides he's going to fight him. Like, that's the most ridiculous thing ever. But let's roll on. Saints take care of the Bears 26-23.
Actually, I had one more laugh out loud moment, and it was not. I just now remembered it. It was in the Raider game, and I just want to make sure. Did you guys see what happened in this Raider game?
Tell me. I want to know.
So
He'll be in.
the Raiders are lining up for a field goal kick. They get centered and get right. The kick is up, and the wind blows not only the football and the goalpost left. Literally, the kick was going straight, and then that ball just went hooked right. And if you see the replay on that, you could also see the goalpost decide to swing itself. Oh my God! I saw the I saw it on my phone. I'm like an alert, like, oh, weird, field goal action. I'm like, what? And I watch it, and it's like, I see it, and again, what the? Are you kidding me? And the thing is that just and Mom was like, well, you should have learned how to kick, read the wind better. I'm like, the wind literally just came in and went blow. It blew it blew the goalpost.
It was on its way straight. Yeah. It was on its way straight, and then it decided to take a turn.
It said, nope, okay. I'm going that way.
So two last games are Eagles beat the Cowboys 23-9, and then the Buccaneers.
Wait a minute.
We're gonna go back to that one, so don't worry. And then the Buccaneers beat the Giants 25-23. So much for that Buccaneer team that everyone thought had the league's best defense. I guess they technically did stat-wise, but Daniel Jones was tossing that thing all over them, couldn't stop them. And then there was actually a questionable not pass interference call. Flag was thrown on a 2-point conversion. Basically, and then they picked it back up and they said not PI.
You can't do that.
Well, the guy, the ref that threw the PI was the back judge, and then the ref that blew it off was the one who was the line judge who was looking down the goal line, which is where the play was happening. And so the line judge has, I think that in that situation, the better view, but I think the line judge in that situation has more power and can say, hey, no way. But the cool thing that I like about, for as much heat as referees get all the time, the thing that I like about the referees that I've seen this season is that when they come together, 2 or 3 guys, to talk about something, they get the call right for the most part. And you haven't really seen that in past seasons. And so I liked seeing that on Sunday Night Football because it was kind of like a challenge, but it wasn't really, because the refs were talking it over. And I think that was a situation where he was like, it looked from the backside like it was a PI because he got there early. And then the line judge was probably like, well, yeah, he got there early, but he touched the ball before the offensive player ever touched the ball. Plus, in that situation, that's a Daniel Jones inexperienced play because, Cam, you know this because you and I play flag football, right? And so flag football is about timing and it's about position a lot of times. And so, Snow, in a route like that, you do not want to hit the receiver on where he has to turn back to his right to make the catch. You want to put the ball out in front of him down that line so he catches it, gets his feet in bounds, and walks out of bounds, and that's it. But Daniel Jones had bad placement with that football on that play. And so but let's move on to the game that everyone really wants to hear us talk about, and that is the Cowboys and the Ben DiNucci train taking on the Eagles 23-9. The Cowboys actually had a lead at halftime. Carson Wentz played a horrible game. He's not a good football player. He's not a good quarterback. I've said that so many times. Carson Wentz had 2 picks. He had 123 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. is that not the grossest stat line you've ever seen in your life?
Oh,
It's
don't
one of
forget
the
the 2 fumbles.
worst ones. Yeah, and he fumbled twice. Yeah, I forgot. So he's responsible for 4 turnovers. Snow, did you watch the game?
As much as I kind of wanted to turn in to see this dumpster fire, I did not watch this game.
That's what it was.
Okay.
I mean,
watched
you
it.
gotta
My
think- you
wife
gotta
was
think it-
very irritated. We live in a split household, right? So like I'm a Seattle fan, my wife's a Cowboys fan. She's from the Dallas Fort Worth area.
I'm sorry
and so,
for you.
Yeah, well, that's fine because she likes the Seahawks too. But when it comes down
Okay.
to it, and we're head to head, she'll always take the Cowboys.
Again,
But
sorry.
it is what it is. She was really irritated, and I was in the room watching on a TV in the room. I was actually folding laundry, and then she was in the other room. And dude, just Ben DiNucci. That's just a tough D line to have to play your first game. And so
Dark.
he was harassed. He was harassed. And it's not just playing that first game. It's the fact that you have to it's the fact that the Cowboys are on like their 3rd string offensive lineman. It's worse than normal circumstances. And so, it's already against him enough. And so I kind of felt bad for the kid. But Cam, I'm gonna turn it over to you because I know you got some things to say. So let me hear it.
Yeah, I didn't do a end of the game show because I wanted to wait. I wanted to hold it in.
You wanted to fester, wanted to build.
And I wanted to make sure I watched the film. Step number 1. Terrence Steele is our worst offensive lineman, and yet somehow he is still in these football games. If you notice, Ben DiNucci's running away from Terrence Steele's side because he does not trust Terrence Steele. He's that bad. He does not trust him at all. And so he's trying to just run and roll away from him. 2, Ben DiNucci, get rid of that sidearm. Good Lord. You did it a lot. I like
this is not flag football. Get rid of it.
Like he threw some funky sidearms. There was times he could have ran for first downs and he didn't. But I don't want to grill him too hard. He's a 7th round draft pick. Number 3, Kellen Moore. I don't want to be hard on Kellen Moore either, but dude, just run the football. For the first time this season, we were successful at running the football, and then you want to call some reverse plays. I saw 4 reverse plays called. That's uncalled for. That's unnecessary, especially when you're running the ball successful as we were. We were killing the Eagles. Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, they were killing them. Mm-hmm. But Kellen Moore's play calling got in the way of what should have been a Dallas Cowboys victory. Now, I didn't pick them to win. I didn't pick them to win.
All 3 of us picked them to lose.
I didn't pick them to win. But it was the fact that if you watched my pregame show, I said Carson Wentz will give you a chance to win the game. He'll turn the ball over. He turned the ball over two times more than what I thought he would. And so it's kind of funny the Cowboys defense shows up. Hey, defense. Hello, defense. How's it going? It's great that you're here finally. But no, Kellen Moore's coaching got
Sean Lee was in the house, baby.
There we go.
Hey,
look at when
great
Sean
white
Lee
hope.
plays.
I think we should clarify something. They showed up for half the game.
That defense played the whole game. The score might have been 23-9, but remember, there was Ben DiNucci got strip sacked. Connor Williams had one of the Eagles linemen on the ground, literally trying to strip the ball out. So the guy's down by contact. The ball comes out, and the refs don't blow it dead, so the Eagles score.
Oh, actually, I saw that monstrosity. I literally tuned it. I didn't watch the whole game. I tuned in for that crazy strip sack, run for the hills. No, what the heck is going on? Touchdown. And of course I have my phone right in front of me and I have the highlights. You got the defense was in it for the first half, and then Philly started kicking field goals and getting back into it, and then touchdowns, and then just craziness galore. Because once you guys hit that 9 spot, it was done over with
Oh
for
yeah.
you guys.
But
Yeah, I mean, and back to your point for the rushing, I mean, yeah, Dallas outran Philadelphia. It was a 133 for Dallas to 119 in the rushing yard. And passing, you outgunned them too by 29 yards.
God, Carson Wentz, you're so bad.
132 to 103 in the passing yards. So you outgained them.
Carson Wentz is so bad.
265 to 222. But of course, what killed you was just, I mean, actually, you know what? I'm going to continue. You had time of possession at 32 and 50 seconds to 27-10. You had 2 interception picks. You were even on the fumbles at two apiece. You were screwed on the third down conversion at 25% to a 37. Yeah. But the penalties kicked you square in the crotch at a 7-4. But yeah, it was just, you looked good, and even played good, but screwy things happened, and
that's the Cowboys for you.
And of course.
Yep, thank you, play it.
Of course.
Be patient. Just wait. They will not let you down. They are an accident waiting to happen.
And it happened again. So much that Stephen A. Smith on ESPN he's just tired of. He can't make fun of them anymore because this season is just what I got nothing left to troll these guys with. I got nothing.
Done. It's done. It's over.
This season has broken him for trolling Dallas. Officially, this season has broken him for trolling. Well, now we may get him later in the season.
Oh, he'll be back.
If there's hope. If there's some hope.
He'll be back.
But right now,
okay. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and roll into our picks of the week, and get our picks started. And let's start with our Thursday night football matchup. You have the 5-2 Green Bay Packers taking on the 4-4 San Francisco 49ers, who are going to be without the best tight end in football, George Kittle. We're going to be without Jimmy Garoppolo. Going to be without their running back and their backup running back and the running back after that. They're going to be without 3 guys. They're going to be without Brandon Ayuk. They're going to be without the other receiver. Can't remember his name. And then there's a chance that old Debo comes back this week. We don't really know let me see who's on the injury report. So Tevin Coleman announces out. Demetrius, their linebacker, out. George Kittle went to IR. Richie James, receiver, questionable. Jaquiski Tart, safety, questionable. As far as Green Bay, Kevin King is out. Their safety's out, and their backup safety's out for Green Bay. Aaron Jones is questionable. We'll see if he plays or not. The matchup predictor on ESPN actually is predicting that San Francisco is going to win. 59.9% thinks that San Francisco is going to win. That could not be any more dead wrong. Green Bay is going to win, and it's going to be a landslide. Green Bay is favored by 7, still with that matchup predictor being kind of weird. But let's go ahead. Cam, give me this one. Who do you got in this one?
Packers. I'm done with the 49ers. I think they're ready to tuck it in and find their next quarterback. Watch out for Matt Ryan.
Oh, jeez. Okay, Snow, who you got?
Literally, this one is just crazy to believe. I mean, literally, it feels like they might as well just be playing their practice squad right now. Thanks, Mom. It's just so crazy to think that all these people are out. I mean, Jimmy G's out, Kittle's out, wide receiver. I cannot say his last name. Iwiki.
Brandon Ayuk.
Thank you, Ayuk, and of course, Samuel's out too. So yeah, Niners got a lot of outs. Packers have a lot of questionables, a couple outs. But to say the least, Rodgers has not been great against the Niners. He's 4-6 again, including playoffs against San Francisco. So it's just a toss up for me. But the way that the Niners are acting right now and looking right now, this is an injured, riddled squad. I'm going Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm on both of those. Green Bay. I think that Aaron Rodgers is, when you talk about Pro Football Focus ratings and rankings as far as quarterbacks this season, Aaron Rodgers is only behind one person, and that's Russell Wilson, and he's playing excellent football, especially considering the last 2 years he's kind of been on a decline, and people have really been saying that he doesn't have it anymore, and he's starting that decline, whatever. But he is playing at an all-pro level this year, and he is tossing that thing. Devontae Adams is a beast, and Tanyan, the tight end that they have, there's a beast, and it really doesn't matter. So give me Green Bay in this one, and I really don't even think it's going to be competitive, which is my favorite part about it. Okay, let's roll to Sunday. Sunday, we have Seahawks taking on the Bills in Buffalo. Seahawks at 6-1, Bills at 6-2. Seattle's favored by 3 points in Buffalo. Let's start with Snow. Snow, who do you got in this one?
Oh, this one's very tough. I mean, Russell is cooking. Bills Mafia is playing at an all-time high right now. One of their best. I mean, this is tough. A 6-2 Bills, 6-1 Hawks. Russ is and has been killing it. When he goes east. Russell is 9-1 career-wise against the AFC East. So I want to, of course I'm going to go with Seahawks, but I mean the Buffalo Bills, and let me straighten this out right now. The Bills right now, they are a team to beat right now, and they're going to be a tough team to beat, to say the least. They are going to be a very strong team in the AFC, not only AFC East, but in the AFC itself. It's going to come down to the Bills, Steelers, the Titans, and, of course, I'm going to put Baltimore in there, but I don't know if the Colts sneak in, as a dark horse under the radar.
And you're leaving the Chiefs out for some reason.
And of course, and the Chiefs. I forgot the Chiefs. And
that's not bad.
The Chiefs too. The Chiefs too, and the Raiders. I'm gonna say, and the Raiders get, as a dark horse.
Now you're tripping.
Again, it's one of those things where you look how it is right now. The Raiders, they're still in it down there in the AFC West. They've already beaten the Chiefs once. I think that they could pull off a second victory, once they play them again. And it's going to be a very interesting AFC division, an AFC West division going forward. But for this game, Seattle, Buffalo, I'm going Seahawks. It's going to be a tight game between these two with Buffalo and Seahawks.
Okay, Cam, I know you're real high on Josh Allen. Let me hear who you got in this one.
I don't trust your defense. I don't trust that Seahawks defense.
Yeah, but Jamal Adams is coming back. You're adding Carlos Dunlap. You're adding another DN and Rasheem Green, who's coming back, was playing well. I mean, we'll see.
Give me the Bills. Give me the Bills.
All right.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you know that I'm not going to go against Seattle. I think that's one of the greatest things about the Seahawks is there's no team in football that we can't be competitive with. And I think that's a sign of a organization who's kind of doing things in the right way, and I like that about our team. Give me Seattle. I think that if they can find a way to fight with some of these receivers, I think Stephon Diggs is the main problem. Cole Beasley's not as good as he used to be. Our run defense is. I'm not tripping. Cole Beasley is not used in the same way that Dallas used him.
Cole Beasley just
and
racked
so-
up a game with 12 catches. You better be careful.
Okay, well, he's going to come across the middle, and he's going to get that good old, as my boy Ryan Field says, he's going to get that good old boom daddy from Jamal Adams. So go ahead and come across the middle one time and see what happens. And I dare you to run any type of wide receiver screen because KJ Wright sniffs those bad boys out like nobody's business. He's probably the best linebacker in the NFL when it comes to sniffing out those screens. I don't know what it is about him, but he's just able to diagnose it so fast. He's blown up so many screens this season. Anyway, I think our defense is gonna they're kind of on. They're gonna be on that uptick a little bit. Last year was a good first step, or not last year, but last week was a good first step, and they're moving in that direction of kind of where they want to be. And here's the thing: Seattle's offense is so good that the defense doesn't even have to be good. They just have to be like mediocre. If they're at least mediocre, then we can win any game that we play in. Bobby Wagner kind of does his thing. You know, he was killing it last week. I want to see that continue. I want to see KJ Wright continue to play well. I want to see Jamal Adams come back and be what we know Jamal Adams is. I want to see Carlos Dunlap get in there and put some pressure on the quarterback. Very physical. I think when you have a good D end, that your defensive tackles naturally are freed up to kind of create some havoc. Seattle's been one of the better teams in the NFL when it comes to stopping the run so far this season. And so I'm looking forward to that. And so I think that if you can shut down Devin Singletary and Zach Moss, then you can really slow down a lot of the things that they do. But here's the thing. Josh Allen can run, dude. He's got a sneaky, just very deceptive scrambling ability. And so I want to see those things happen. And so if we can make that happen, then I think we win the game. I think it's going to be a good game. If we were to have to lose a game, I wouldn't mind it being this one because it's against an AFC team. But I still want to win. I don't really care.
Well,
and so this would look good on the resume because they're 6-2. This would look very good on the resume. So
yeah. And just one last little thing. If this is gonna be if this is gonna be a game to lose, then it might as well be this. But the defense is, as long as the defense can have that, again, another bend but don't break mentality, then this will be a Seahawk game right here. But if they have a break mentality and come in with that, we're doing okay, and then they just get into that high pressure situation, close game, and they break and they just let the floodgates open, then Buffalo's just going to run roughshod on them and the wagons will go straight on through.
Right. Okay. So let us keep rolling here. Let's get through these games. We got Broncos at 3-4 taking on the Falcons at 2-6. Atlanta's actually favored by 4 points. Cam, where are you going on this one?
Go to Snow.
Broncos. Okay, Broncos and Falcons. Snow.
Take it. Denver has won the last 3. Has won 3 of the last 4 games, even though of course they lost the first 3, so they're not bad. I'm gonna feel like this one might be a trap game. In the words of Cam, this is gonna be a trap game. The Falcons 2-6. Broncos 3-4. Not real high on the horse for for both teams. Last time they played against each other was August of last year. It was 14-10 Broncos, so close game on that end. I feel like this will be another game that Matt Ryan lets slip out of his hands. It's at Atlanta. I feel like Denver is going to get I think it's going to be another close game. It will be a very tight, close game, but I think Broncos pull it out. Give me Broncos.
Okay, you're going Broncos. You ready, Cam? Go ahead.
Yeah. You know what? That's my dog, Drew Lock. That's my dog. And he just has that dog mentality in him. Like, he's never out of the game, and I like that. There's something special brewing there in Denver. So go ahead and, you know what? Go ahead and give me the Broncos over the Falcons.
Oh, this one's tough because I really am with you guys there with the Broncos, and I think that the Broncos are going to win this game. But a part of me is like, man, because both of you went Denver, I kind of want to go Atlanta just to kind of shake things up a little bit.
Well,
I think both of you are punks and refuse to shake anything up when it comes to picks. You guys aren't taking any risks. You're just over here going with your
timeout. Hold on.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to play traveling offsides clipping. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Taking risks? Do I need to go back down to Miami again? Do I need to go back to Miami? Because let's see.
How's that a risk?
Who picked Miami last week? Who picked Miami last week and won?
I understand. That's not
Chicago
just because they've been
and won.
Oh my God. Just because they've been historically bad, that does not mean that that's a risk this season. Miami has been good this season. They've been knocking people off. Chicago at one point was Cam, catch me if I'm wrong, but was Chicago not 4-0 at one point or something like 3-0 at least?
I think they were 3-0 for sure.
Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah,
They got 4-0, yeah.
Yeah, so catch me if I'm wrong here, but those teams aren't exactly. It's not like I'm like, hey, the Browns are gonna beat the Chiefs. Okay, I didn't say that. I'm just saying that with a couple of picks here, I have willingly sacrificed weeks of being competitive with you guys and losing weeks because remember when I picked someone, who did I pick over the Chiefs? I picked someone over the Chiefs a couple weeks. Who was it?
Oh, no, I had a sneeze. Sorry. Excuses.
Okay. Excuses. Okay. I'm just saying when it comes to this game, yeah, but for a second there, it looked kind of close, but then the second half started and then it was out of there.
I've had more out on the limbs and I've won a majority of them.
Oh my God. Anyway, the whole point.
I just want to say this.
Last place right now.
I just want to say this.
Last place.
The king is loving listening to the peasants as they bicker amongst each other. As I sit atop
my whole
this
point.
throne.
Hey, you're only 6 games up. You're only 6 games up. We still got a long way to go, brother.
Okay. Here's the thing. My whole point was that I think that Denver is going to win this game. But a part of me wanted to pick different because you and Snow both went Denver. But it's Atlanta, so it's like so hard. And I don't think that Atlanta's going to have Calvin Ridley, who's easily their go-to receiver right now. And so I'm going to have to go Denver with you on this one. But just know that I really wanted to pull the trigger going the other way because I love Drew Lock. Yeah. So
I believe the bigger risk is us taking Denver because Denver once again is doing it without its star players. Like, they're doing it with the young core guys. So it's a bigger risk to actually take Denver over Atlanta.
Yeah, but Atlanta is garbage, and I think that Denver was going to at least be respectable with. I think that Denver was at least going to be respectable with their star players. If they had their players, they would be respectable.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to the next week. We got the 5-3 Chicago Bears taking on the 5-2 Tennessee Titans. Tennessee's favored by 6. Cam, I'm gonna go to you first. Tennessee's been slow at the gates past couple weeks. Chicago still doesn't really have an answer on offense. They're pretty terrible on offense, but tell me who you got in this one.
I know everyone's is pretty critical on Tennessee at the moment. Don't mind the slow starts because just before that, we've seen Derrick Henry rush for over 200 yards and Ryan Tannehill throw for 300 yards. That rare 300-200 duo. And so they've been a little slow the past few weeks. I think they'll be able to get back on track. Give me the Titans because I don't trust Matt Nagy now. Now I'm starting to think it might be Matt Nagy's play calling because I'm watching the Bears. I'm watching them. And I just don't trust the play calling. So give me Tennessee over the Bears.
Okay, Snow. No, what about you?
I'm kicking it over to you. Take this one. I want to see where you're going to go.
So Tennessee, like I said, slow starts. I think A.J. Brown was shut down a lot last week. The strength of the Chicago Bears is their defense right now, specifically their secondary. I think that A.J. Brown is going to have a tough time. I saw that one of Tennessee's wide receivers was carted off last week. I believe it was Adam Humphries. Is that who that was? So he was carted off, and so he's more than likely not going to be available. You get carted off, it's usually a pretty big deal. And so a part of me wants to go with Tennessee because I am really believing that they have a bounce back situation going on. But then I look at Chicago. I'm like, okay, strength of their team is their defense. What do they offer on offense? Nothing. My high school team could beat them on offense. They're that bad. But I think they're going to do their best to really slow the game down this week. Tennessee is. And I'm going to take Tennessee in this one. Here he goes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Snow. Go ahead.
So, while this game, yes, Tennessee has won 2 of the last 3 games against Chicago. This is going to be a very, very competitive game between these guys. And this is going to have implications for both of these teams. Titans looking to hold on to that AFC South lead against them Colts at 5-2, while the Bears are looking to stay pace with them Packers in the NFC North. They're 1.5 game back. Actually, no, they're half a game back. Green Bay sitting at 2-1, Chicago 1-0 right now in the division. And of course, playing division games, that's going to be even more fun. But to say the least, while I do, want to go with them Titans because I have said that they are going to be, I have a feeling that they are going to be the AFC South champs. I am going to be different from both of you. So give me the monsters of the Midway. Give me a team from a certain town named Chicago Bears.
Okay, we got that. Let's go on to both teams are sitting at 5-2. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Baltimore's favored by 2.5 points. Snow, keep it rolling. Who you got?
Indy 6-0, taking on Baltimore all time, including the playoffs. This is going to be a very close game. While I am feeling on the Colts a little bit, however, I feel the Baltimore Ravens will finally bust out and get payback on them Colts for all the times that they've been bashing on them. So give me Baltimore.
What about you, Cowboy Cam?
So these Ravens are about to play a really good defense in the Colts. I've been feeling a little feisty here. Give me the Colts over the Ravens.
Okay. I don't think that the Ravens can afford to drop 2 straight, so I'm gonna go with the Ravens on this one. But know that I'm right there with you, Cam, and I really wanted to go with you, but I just don't think there's any chance that the Ravens are dropping 2 straight, and I think that's the overwhelming factor for me. Okay, next we got.
Ravens can't drop
I think
2.
they'll force some turnovers out of Phillip Rivers. He's done a great job of taking care of the ball the past few weeks, but I think that Ravens defense might force some turnovers, and then they'll run away with the game.
So you're saying
We'll be rolling, owning, rolling Phillip Rivers.
hey, you went.
Yep.
You went. But yeah, I agree. Baltimore cannot drop 2. They're right behind. They're 2 back from Pittsburgh. They need these games, especially once they get another round of division games under their belt. So they need these.
Right. Okay, so next let's go. The 3-5 Panthers are taking on the 7-1 Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City's favored by 11. I'm gonna start here. I think it's a no-brainer. I think that the Panthers just don't have enough. Their receivers are gonna have a long day against this defense that Kansas City's rocking. I'm gonna go Kansas City in this one, and I'm gonna go to Cam. Who you got in this one, Cam? Kansas City or Carolina?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chiefs as well. I can't afford to put any more faith into the Panthers. Every time I pick them, they lose, and then when I don't pick them, they win. So maybe they might get a win here with me not picking them. We'll see.
Okay, Snow, go ahead.
Give me them Chiefs. I have no faith in Carolina right now. Going up against a 7-1 KC, they're too strong right now. It literally. And let's see, Carolina. Yeah, they're sitting 3rd in the NFC South. They need to get back into it, but unfortunately, not against the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Okay, let's move on. The 2-5 Minnesota Vikings are taking on the 3-4 Detroit Lions, a Lions team without Matt Stafford, and more than likely without Kenny Golladay, I believe, was injured this last week, so he'll be out. And so I have zero faith in anything that Detroit's trying to do without Matt Stafford. I think Matt Stafford really carries that team. And so let's go ahead. I'm gonna go with Minnesota in this one. There's no line on it, by the way. There's not. It just has nothing. And so Cam, tell me who you got in this one: Lions or Vikings?
No Stafford, no Kenny Golladay. 2 important pieces to their offense. Give me the Vikings. Just unleash Dalvin Cook, and you'll be fine.
Right. Yeah, I think the Vikings are going to take care of business there. Snow, what about you?
Minnesota's won 5 straight on Detroit. They're going to Minnesota. And this is a division game. This is going to be deciding who's going to be jumping who for the 3rd spot and trying to put up a fight with Chicago and Green Bay going down the line. And both teams need this game if they want to keep pace. Detroit's 0-2 in the division. Vikings are split at 1-1. I'm rolling with the Vikings.
Okay, so we all go Minnesota across the board. Next, we have the 1-7 Giants taking on the 2-5
Oh,
Washington football team. Washington favored
Another
by
division
2.5. Another division game in the lowly NFC East this time.
Least.
I personally am going to take Washington in this game. I don't know. There's something about the Giants that they play to the opponent. They play to the level of their opponent. Like last week, the Giants really played up to the Bucks, and they've played down to their opponents in other weeks. And so, yeah, I'm gonna go Washington. Cam, who you got this one?
I like what I've been seeing from the Giants. Like they're building. I like it. But that front seven for Washington is just flat out ridiculous. Give me Washington over the Giants.
Okay, Snow, what about you?
The Giants have won 4 straight on them. Whatchamacallits. And again, so wait a minute. Everyone took Washington? I just want to double check.
Yes,
Okay.
we both took Washington.
So, yeah. And again, in the NFC least division, this division is wide open. I mean, with this game, Giants could jump the Cowboys if the Cowboys lose this coming week, and be a game out from the whatchamacallits, and even be closer to Philadelphia. So literally, the East is the wild, wild least right now, and anything. Actually, I don't even need to say it because
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
in this NFC least, and I am hopping aboard the train with you guys because we're going Washington, and then whatchamacallits.
Okay. Next we have the battle of two teams that are both sitting at 1-6. The Texans are taking on the Jaguars. Houston is favored by 7. I'm gonna start with Cowboy Cam. Cowboy Cam, who do you got in this one?
You said Houston's taking on the Jaguars, right?
It's
Yes.
AFC South division match.
The Jags are, I believe, in tank mode. I believe now they're like, all right, we've tried to compete in every game and it's not working. Give me the Texans over the Jags.
Yeah, and Gardner Minshew's not playing in this game, so that's a whole nother reason there. I'm right there with you. I'm going to take the Texans over the Jaguars on this one. Snow, what do you think?
Oh, Minshew's not playing?
No, I don't believe so. I think they put him on the COVID-19 list or something.
Let me
So one of those things.
check. I mean, yeah, Houston has won 5 straight on Jacks. Jaguars. Oh, he's on the injuries list. So, oh, damn, that's tough. If Minshew was playing, I would be still rolling with them Jags, but I'm going to hedge my bet here, and I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to be rolling with Houston this week.
Okay. Next up is the Las Vegas Raiders at 4-3 taking on the Los Angeles Chargers at 2-5. The line is 100% even. I'm gonna start it off. I'm taking Las Vegas in this one. I think they're gonna find a way to beat them, and then I'll kick it to Cowboy Cam. Who do you got?
Give me the Raiders over the Chargers.
Raiders and Raiders. Snow, who you got? I have a feeling though.
Again, another division matchup in the AFC West. This is gonna very well determine who's going to be keeping pace with them Chiefs. Raiders 1-0 in the division. The Chargers are an 0-2 in the division. I feel like this is going to be another Raider victory and keep pace with them Chiefs. I mean, if they can win out their division, they will rep them AFC West banner heading into the playoffs. So give all of us the Raiders.
Okay, let's go to potential to be the blowout of the week, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers sitting at 7-0, taking on the Dallas Cowboys sitting at 2-6. Pittsburgh's favored by 14. Go ahead, Snow.
I think we can all agree here, and if anyone here would probably join us in this, but I think we call this like the New York Jets, season. We officially
Yep.
all agree we are going Pittsburgh because there's
It's not.
no
It's not
chance.
official. It's not official unless Cam raises his hand. Does he raise his hand here?
Yes.
Oh, he raises his hand. Okay,
Cowboy
we
Cam
all go Pittsburgh on this one. Okay.
If y'all haven't noticed, we don't know who we're gonna start at quarterback, Garrett Gilbert or Cooper Rush. So honestly, the sports analysis person inside of you says do not pick the Cowboys at all.
Wait a minute. So what string of quarterback you were on?
Oh, we're on the fourth.
What happened to your third?
Yeah.
The third didn't play too good, so now we're on the fourth.
Potentially the fifth.
Yeah, potentially the fifth. Oh my God.
So basically, we're on another practice squad.
Yes.
Mentality. All right.
Okay. Let's roll the next game. We got the Miami Dolphins at 4-3 taking on the Arizona Cardinals at 5-2. Arizona's favored by 4. I personally think Arizona wins this game by a field goal. Cam, who do you have in this one?
Give me Arizona. I think they win by 7.
Okay. Snow, what about you?
Oh, I mean, this is going to be a good game. Actually, you know what? Maybe a little bit better game than what a lot of people might think. I mean, Dolphins sitting at 4-3. They're kind of falling back in the AFC East. Cardinals sitting at a lovely 5-2. Still, it's that 3-headed monster over here at the NFC West. Them Seahawks, them Cards, and them Rams. Arizona has won 3 of the last 4 games against Miami. However, I feel there may be something brewing because I've said this once and I'll say it again. Them Dolphins seem to find a way to be a thorn in people's sides and screw with them. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going back down to South Beach. I'm going down to Miami.
What are you doing?
And catching some rays. So, give me them Fish Boys because
you're gonna regret this.
Because
okay,
I mean, come on. They also they're still looking for that kicker. And wait, hey, did you find him?
Hi, I'm looking for Ray Finkel.
They found him. So yeah,
okay.
Give them the Dolphins.
Here's the deal, Cam.
Mike, you get the Ray Finkel thing right.
Of course I do. Ace Ventura, dude.
Okay.
Of course I know.
Yeah,
dude, you have to remember, I'm the oldest person on this podcast, right? I'm 32 years old. Okay, you think I don't understand Ace Ventura?
It still blows my mind that you're 32.
Yeah, so if you knew who my wife was, I know you don't know her that well, but if you knew her a little bit better, you would know that she loves Ace Ventura, and that if somehow I didn't know who Ray Finkel was, I'd be sleeping on the dang couch. It's terrible.
I swear,
but anyway,
I swear the Dolphins have somebody on their team named Ray Finkel. Who's the guy that's he scored a touchdown. He scored the scoop and score off of Jared Goff. I could have his name wrong, but I thought it was Ray Finkel as well.
No way is Ray Finkel. The whole NFL world would be losing it if there was a Ray Finkel.
The world would be set on fire if there was a legitimate person named Ray Finkel.
Okay, so we got 2 more games left. Let's go to Sunday Night Football. The 5-2 Saints are hosting the 6-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Antonio Brown, baby. He's back. He's off his suspension. He's grateful to be back in the league. He's with his best friend, Tom Brady, and he is just so happy to be in the NFL. Tampa Bay is favored by 5 points. Cam, let me hear it.
These two teams are two teams I don't like picking because I know what's gonna happen later down the road. So I hate picking them now because like I'm just waiting on the inevitable to happen. In this case, I like the Buccaneers defense. Give me Tampa Bay over the Saints.
Okay, Snow.
Man.
Are you going to stay in Florida? You're not too far from Tampa, you know?
Yeah, I'm not far from Tampa. I mean, heck, I could go grab me a sword and go jump on the Jolly Roger if I wanted to. That I'm so close. In a game between the battle of the top two all-time passing leaders who are literally on this seesaw of trading, they're tied. There's a lead. There's a tie. There's a lead. And the Saints, and this is a division game too, so this is going to be a very key factor in who is going to rep the NFC South. Saints or Bucks? Damn, that's a tough choice. But you know what? As much as I want to go on down to the bayou and get me some good old jambalaya. So, jambalaya would sound good with this, but you know what? I'm hopping on the pirate ship. I'm rolling down to Tampa Bay. Give me the sword and get me on that Jolly Roger.
Shorter commute, completely understand it. Okay, now for the official Monday Night Football.
What was your pick?
Score?
Who did you pick?
Yeah, who'd you pick?
Oh, did I not pick? Okay, I'm going Tampa Bay.
No, you did not pick.
Okay, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay.
All right.
Tampa Bay. Okay, anyway, let's get to it. Monday Night Football. Patriots and Jets. Everyone, raise your hand. Okay, we're all going Patriots. Okay, we got it. They're favored by 7 over the Jets, but we need a score prediction. So, Snow, I'm going to start with you on a score prediction.
Oh, God, this is... All right, my score prediction. Let me see what their at least the last time that they actually played, hopefully. All right, I'm going to go with that. Give me 33.
33 to what?
Well, this is just total points.
It's total points. He's going. Total points.
We're doing total. Remember, we're doing total points for the tiebreaker.
Okay. Okay. So you want 33. Cam, let me hear who you pick. You pick Patriots, obviously, but tell me how many total points.
Give me 28 total points.
Okay, and I'm gonna take the over. Give me 34.
Oh,
that should be.
So one took the under, one took the over. Okay, so that is great. Okay, great. So we have finished our picks for the week. We are the Flex Network. I am Flex Mike at Flex Mike 11. You can find me there on Twitter. You can find me running the Facebook, the Flex Network on Facebook, at the Flex Network 1 on Twitter. You can find my man Cowboy Cam down here at Cowboy Cam 11 on Twitter. You can find him on his Cowboy Cam Facebook page, breaking all the Dallas Cowboys news you could possibly need. The SnowMan, at AJS Dead Snow on Twitter, his personal account, and then he has his wrestling account that he runs for the Flex Network at FlexNet_PW Elite for all your wrestling news that you could possibly need. He will be live tomorrow night on a Thursday night. So make sure you check him out. He's got some things to talk about in the world of wrestling. And word on the street is, boys, that the producers for the Last Dance documentary from Michael Jordan is producing a Stone Cold Steve Austin documentary.
All right. Oh, hell yeah. And there's also one in the mix, and there's also one in the mix for one Vincent Kennedy McMahon. for Netflix.
So, until next week, we are the Flex Network. We will catch you guys later.
Peace.